Sticks and stones may break my bones, but no will never hurt me. That's from the book Go for No. Presentation is the art of making your best offer in order to close the sale. The more artful the presentation, the cleverer you are, the more you stand out, the better the odds of making the sale. It's as simple as that. Let me illustrate what I mean in terms of the power of presentation. Consider these two scenarios in a high-class restaurant where you're celebrating a special occasion. Now, in the first scenario, your waiter sidles up to the table, smiles politely and asks, "Would anyone care for dessert?" Okay, a rather predictable, uninspiring presentation. Wouldn't you agree? Consider the second scenario. The waiter pushes a cart featuring 5 mouth-watering desserts next to your table and announces, "Please allow me to describe the pastry chef's dessert selections for this evening." The waiter then proceeds to describe how each dish is prepared, the quality of its ingredients, and he concludes with a ringing endorsement of the double dark chocolate mousse, my personal favourite. Desserts are accompanied by fresh ground espresso or French roast coffee, compliments of the chef. Ladies first, which would you prefer, ma'am? The waiter asks, of course, with a slight bow of the head. Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out who sells the most desserts, do you? The 4 P's of powerful presentations. These are the 4 keys, which we call the 4 P's, to creating powerful presentations. Preparation, posture, persuasion, and proposition. If you're strong in each of these, your direct selling business will boom, in both retailing and in recruiting. In this section, we're going to focus on recruiting, but the 4 P's are equally important to retailing, to selling your product. Let's take a brief look at each of these keys. Firstly, preparation. Coaches of athletes and athletic teams will tell you that games are won in the preparation more than they are on the playing field. Same for direct selling. A new person can set a dozen appointments on the first day in business, but if she's not prepared with the knowledge and the know-how to talk about the product and the company and the opportunity, then her odds of recruiting someone into the business will simply drop through the floor. Now, that's not to say new recruits shouldn't hit the ground running. In the best of all worlds, sponsors or experienced upline leaders will help new people set appointments and make presentations while the new recruit learns the ropes. Good preparation means mastering both knowledge and know-how. Knowledge includes learning about the product or the products, the opportunity and the company, and the industry of direct selling. Obviously, it can take weeks, even months, to become well-versed in all areas of the business, but you can still make effective presentations while learning the business by using this phrase whenever you get stuck. I don't know about that. All I know is. So if a prospect asks, have these products passed double-blind studies from the FDA? Your answer might sound like this. I don't know about that. All I know is that I lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks without changing my eating habits, and I have the energy of a 20-year-old. Learning scripts for setting appointments, memorising key phrases to communicate ideas and overcome objections, and knowing company upline stories are necessary for success in this business. One of the first things to learn is about a 5 or 10 second benefit statement. To use, that's when people ask you, what do you do? Instead of saying, I sell cosmetics, you might say, I help women look and feel years younger. A great way to prepare your presentations is to videotape yourself in front of a mirror as you practice. But the best way to improve your presentation skills is to force yourself out of your comfort zone by making presentations. The more you give, the better you'll get. Plan your presentation so that it has an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, just like a great book or a movie. People don't have much time these days, So let your prospect know right up front that it'll only take you 20 minutes. Finally, have a clear purpose in mind before you start. Your purpose may be to drop off a product sample or leave some literature or even invite the prospect to a live event. The more prepared you are, the more professional your presentation will be and the more prospects that you will recruit into your business. The next P is posture. When we hear the word posture, we'll likely recall our mother reminding us to stand up straight. In direct selling, good posture means standing up straight in every sense of the word. Standing up for your product and the opportunity, standing up for yourself, standing up to your critics, and standing up to rejection. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. That's as the old saying goes, and boy, is that true. Good posture means projecting confidence and competence in your body language by making good eye contact, dressing for success, throwing your shoulders back and announcing to the world, I deserve your time and demand respect. What would your reaction be if someone asked you to lunch and then, while staring into their plate, whispered, you wouldn't want to join my new business, would you? Not on your life. Even if the opportunity of a lifetime it was, you would run the other way because the presenter's posture was so poor. Now, a big part of good posture is to communicate an attitude to prospect that says, I'm looking for the right people and I thought of you. I'd love you to join me, but I'm doing this business with or without you. Good posture refers to the way you conduct yourself in all matters concerning the business. How you look, how you relate to others, what you say, and how you say it. Great posture gets great results. Poor posture, poor results. If you're not happy with your results, you may want to ask your sponsor or your upline to suggest ways to improve your posture. Now to the next P, persuasion. The essence of selling, persuasion, is the process of influencing prospects to act or believe in a manner that will be of benefit to both of you. Now, some people confuse arguing with persuasion, so they try to get people to side with them by advancing stronger arguments than the other person. Reality check. It can't be done. You can persuade a person to agree with you, but it's impossible to argue a person into agreeing with you. To become successful in direct selling, you must understand the difference. Let's start with the definitions. Arguing. To prove your position by giving reasons and evidence to an impartial third party, such as a judge or a jury. Persuading. Directly influencing a person to take an action or accept a belief. Now, the huge difference between the two is that effective arguments are presented to a third-party judge, which means the person presenting the arguments doesn't care about protecting the other person's feelings. As a result, arguments are often direct, attacking, even vicious sometimes, because there's no motivation to spare the feelings of the other party. Persuasion, on the other hand, requires presenting directly to a prospect instead of an unbiased third party. As a result, even if all of the facts and the evidence are on your side, prospects can, and often do, reject your presentation for reasons that have nothing to do with the facts, such as fears or insecurities or misinformation. For these reasons, persuasion takes a lot more patience, more finesse than arguing to a judge, because you persuade someone. You're reaching out to them. You're asking them to hold your hand while you walk them across a bridge of understanding to join on your side of the divide. Persuasion requires a host of subtle skills. You have to form a bond with the prospect. It's important to create a climate of trust. Ask questions to discover their wants and their needs and their dreams. To coax them to your side by helping them take little tiny baby steps, gently guiding them through doors of understanding. It's about showing that you understand and care about them. It's about reassuring them that they've made the right decision, and then mentor them to make them believe stronger in what has just happened. A fork in the road. Can you see why we call persuasion a process? It doesn't happen in the blink of an eye. Persuasion takes time and tact. But if you're serious about building a solid, profitable, direct selling business, you have to become good at persuading others to buy your products and join you in your business. The key to building a big business is persuading people to join you in your business and persuading them to work the business. We call that recruiting and retention. We'll look at retention in section 8. But for right now, let's talk about the role persuasion plays in recruiting. Think of presenting as a road that you and your prospect are travelling along. You chat as you walk along this road, getting to know each other. You're confident and cheery, while your prospect is a bit unsure and anxious. As you walk along presenting road, you talk about the product and the company. And eventually, when the topic of the opportunity comes, you come to a fork in the road. Now, in the middle of the fork in the road, you enter a roundabout. The exit to the right of the roundabout is the road to rejection. To the left of the roundabout is the road to recruited. Now, here is the important part. How you answer your prospects' questions and objections during your walk through the roundabout will determine whether they take the road to rejection or the road to recruited. Remember, you can't argue with your prospects. You can't argue with them into agreeing with you. But you can persuade some of them to join you in your business by answering their questions, by overcoming their objections, and giving them the opportunity they need to open their minds, to discard their skepticism and accept your position. When presenting, you need to use all of the tools at your disposal to persuade people to take the road to recruited, such as 3-way calls with your upline, opportunity DVDs, brochures and company literature, company and distributor websites, product samples, testimonials by product users and business builders. But you know, when all is said and done, you are the most powerful and effective tool for persuading prospects to join you in the business. So it's crucial that you learn how to answer questions and objections when you come to the fork in the road. Let's look at the next P, proposition. The proposition stage of the presentation is what everything else in the presentation is leading up to, closing the sale. This is the phase of the presentation when you ask the prospect for their product order, and you ask the prospect to sign the paperwork and join you in the business. The proposition is clear cut. In the proposition, you want either a yes or a no. The purpose of the proposition is to get prospects off the fence. You've given them the literature, you've invited them to live events, you've arranged conversations with like-minded people in the business, and you've answered all of their questions and their objections. Your dating days are over. Now it's time to pop the question and get a yes or a no. Judge yourself by your actions, not your results. The reality of this business is that you can do a brilliant job of presenting the opportunity and still get a no from your prospect. If everyone who ever got a no in direct sales dropped out of the business, there wouldn't be any business. No's are a part of the job. Just as filling teeth are a part of a dentist's job, it goes with the territory. Successful direct sellers abide by 2 laws of nature. The first is this, the law of averages, and the second, safety in numbers. The law of averages says that over time, results will average out. If you get a yes from 5 people in a row, and then you get a no from the next 10, on average, you're getting a yes 1 out of every 3 presentations. Now that's averaging 33%, a great closing average by anyone's standards. Safety in numbers means that the more presentations you make, the more yeses you'll get. Let me show you what I mean. The person who makes 5 presentations a week and closes only 20% of them, that's a total of 4 a month, will sell more product and build a bigger business than the person with a closing average of 50% who only presents once a week, a total of 2 per month. No's are just a reality of this business. If you're not getting no's, you're not working the business. Okay, so that's it for presentation. I hope that you've got some really good, valuable tips out of this, that you can use those to help you in your recruiting process. Now, we're going to move on to the next section. That is leadership.